Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Raúl Barcelo, and this is the back nine of the first round of the Cancer PlayBook Open GoThrow event that happened at Hideaway in Terrell, Texas. And if you haven't watched the first part of this video, then you should pause this one, go back and watch the other one so that this one makes way more sense. And at this point, it started pouring rain, okay? And there was a brief second where we didn't know if we were gonna still play or if they're gonna call a time delay, a rain delay. Let me just go over hole 10 with you guys first. Hole 10 is a par 3, 306 feet. You play over the pond, and the basket is on top of the hill there, surrounded by trees. It's pretty straightforward, but still a pretty cool shot over the water. And it was raining really hard, and all of a sudden Kat decided to step into the tee and just throw with no warning. So our tee cam wasn't ready for that. But here we go, hole 10, Deann with her backhand. That's what the tee looks like. And Taylor is going to show us her very powerful heiser shot. Go over all the trees. Really good shot. Rebecca going with a nice backhand that puts her inside the circle on the uphill slope. It's Kat's approach. Not really a good look for birdie. Same with Deann. She kind of half ran it, but it's not really the greatest look. Even for Rebecca, being uphill with all that wind and stuff, pretty tough. And Taylor, who had the best chance, she is not able to connect, and she's gonna have to settle for par. Looks like a par gang for the whole card. So, like I said, straightforward hole. We're gonna move on to hole 11, par 4, 577 feet. This hole in particular is interesting because it's normally not OB on the right. All these white stakes on the right side are normally not there. So now that's put the OB is actually teeing off from OB that you have to cross into inbounds. And Mertsch did not do that. And so she's going to have to re-tee. Looks like Deann's drive might have touched the line and then went back OB. But we have 2 OB drives so far. Comes Taylor. She's definitely going inbounds. Looks like good distance. Oh yeah, good drive, right in the middle of the fairway. And Rebecca's drive, looks like she might have tried to overcompensate a little bit. She finds the OB all the way on the other side. And Kat says, I'm changing my strategy. I'm going forehand this time. And she's going to be in the fairway after 3. And Deann looks like they did call that she crossed inbounds before going back OB. So this was her 3rd shot too. Also manages to get in the middle of the fairway. Good shot. That's going to be Kat's 4th shot. That looked like a good shot.
Happy piss!
Rebecca going heiser around the tree. Really, that tree is like your marker for where you want to throw it, if you want to go around it one way or the other, but what you don't want to do is that. You don't want to hit the tree. We finally got to Taylor's drive, and oh no, she manages to leak OB left after an incredible drive. That was really good distance. Honestly, that's good work for Deann to put it under the basket, not have to think about her putt. Same thing with Rebecca, that was good.
You dirty dog.
Cat Mertsch. Yep. After the OB, that's going to be par for Taylor. And looks like a bogey, double bogey, and a double bogey for the other three. So kind of a tough hole. Everyone went OB on that hole. That shows you how windy it was. Hole 12, par 3, 331 feet. Basket is about 10-15 feet from the OB water behind it. And plays uphill, and it also is raining again. So it was raining on hole 10, then hole 11 it kind of cleared up a little bit, but now it's raining again pretty hard, and they still haven't called it right now. So we're playing, and these are the conditions that are getting worse and worse and worse for when the guys play later in the day. So believe it or not, they played in even worse conditions. But Kat, actually, that was a really good drive. She just went a little bit to the right into the trees, but she's still way up the fairway with a pretty easy up and down for par. That was a really good shot from Taylor after throwing it too low, being early in the fairway. Deann also does a good approach. Rebecca, okay, that was a little bit short, but I think she's still going to be able to manage. And okay, Cat Mertsch, like I said, good work. It was actually more scrambly than I thought it would be. And Rebecca manages to cash in her par pretty well. Deann with a par. And yeah, it looks like we're gonna have all pars. Very slippery, watch out. Hole 13 is a par 3, 414 feet. The basket is in a small area that's like sloped downwards. The water that surrounds the basket is not OB. Taylor first with her drive. She doesn't like it. It's going to go too far to the right. It's going to almost hit the cart in front of him at the next tee. Rebecca, good work down the fairway. Should work for her par from there. Really good drive from Cat Mertsch, and gets a little tombstone. That might actually be a long look for birdie. We'll see. And Deann, good work also, middle of the fairway, good stability. So now from behind the tee pad for hole 14, we're going to see another big hyzer over the trees from Taylor. That's actually pretty good from where she was. She's still going to be outside the circle, but she's going to have a putt. Deann with her approach. Looks like she's going to be right by that tree. And man, I think that was a little bit of a misfire from Rebecca. I think she could have had it a little bit closer to the basket. Cat ran for the birdie, but we'll be happy with that par. And man, what a good putt from Taylor. Good par from Rebecca too. Oh, I thought we were about to see another all par on a very difficult hole, to be completely honest. But no, Deann's going to be the only bogey, the rest with pars, and we're going to go 2-hole 14, par 3, 299 feet. There's, I think, maybe a couple ways to get to the basket, but really the only for sure way is down the tunnel in the middle. We might see some hyzers, especially from Taylor, I think. And I've seen people throw forehands and all kinds of other stuff, but yeah, not a lot of people going with the big hyzer. Taylor can. She's going to be a little short this time. Rebecca's going to try to go down the middle. Just lifts on her slightly. And looks like she's going to hit the very first few trees, so she's going to still have some work to do to get all the way to the basket. Cat Mertsch with some early release. That side over there is not OB. It's just really, really jail and muddy. There's not really a fairway over there where Cat's going to be playing from. Deann with a good drive. Stays on the right side of the fairway and looking at the basket. That was a great approach from Taylor. From where she was, there was almost nothing. Another good drive approach from Rebecca. Deann puts it under the basket for her par. Ooh, Cat Mertsch. She's going to be at least putting from where she was, because she had almost nothing and manages to save the par even from that. So that was a great scramble from Cat. From where she was, it was a tough lie. And yeah, it looks like everyone got a par on that hole again. That was pretty cool. Hole 15, par 4, 469 feet. I think this might be one of the harder holes, alongside with like 8 and 9. It's that type of hole where it's just very wooded, today very muddy, low ceiling, tight gaps, lots of trees. We'll see how they manage. Taylor going with a backhand. Laces the tunnel. It leaks off a little bit left. She's still going to be able to have a play from there for her upshot. Rebecca, same line, a little bit lower. That's gonna work. She's in the fairway. Cat going with the forehand. She's actually pretty close to where Taylor landed, maybe slightly more to the left. And Deann with a little bit of a misfire. She's still in the fairway, but I don't think she probably wanted to go a little bit higher and left. So Deann's first to throw her upshot. Not bad. She's up there. She's got a look for up and down for par. And Rebecca with a great second shot. She's going to be circle edge for birdie from there. Just Cat's approach. Outside the circle. Taylor with a really nice approach. That's going to be looking at birdie from very close. So Deann actually went into one of those small ditches in there, so she had to pitch up, and she's still not really quite all the way there for her par. We'll see if she can this one from long range. No, it looks like that'll be a bogey for Deann. This is for birdie from Rebecca. Oh no, I I thought she had it, actually. Man, that just spit all the way through. Great birdie there from Taylor. This is going to be par for Kat. Bogey as mentioned for Deann. And the par for Rebecca after that nasty spit out. But they're all keeping it in good spirits. Going into hole 16, par 3, 185 feet. This is the shortest hole on the track in the short tee pads. Might also play as one of the easier holes. But yeah, it's a tunnel. It's slightly uphill. You have to make sure you hit the gap all the way through. Taylor would have liked to be a little bit closer, but I think that's going to be good for putt for birdie. Rebecca finding the right side gap, local line. Kat going forehand, lacing the tunnel. That's basically parked for birdie. Guaranteed. Deann going with the backhand. Good drive also. So furthest away was Taylor, and she almost had that. She just barely hit the band. And Deann hits the tray. So somewhere in the middle of those two putts were the perfect putts for them. Good birdie there for Rebecca. We're going to see 2 pars and 2 birdies. Hole 17 is a par 4, 372 feet from the short tee. I love this hole because the topography has undulations in the ground, just up and down the whole way, all the way up to the basket. But it's really just one long tunnel shot with also multiple other gaps that you could potentially hit. But there is one very defined straight line all the way to the basket. So we'll see if any of these girls can manage to connect with that. Rebecca going a little bit too far right, hitting off the trees. She's gonna be still in the fairway though. It's not good, not too bad. Kat Mertsch going on the other side. Gets stuck in some trees, but she's okay with it. And Taylor manages to really get a hold of this, and oh my god, look at that. Wow, that's incredible. That's all the way down to the basket. That's putting for eagle inside the circle. Very nice work for Taylor. And Deann going with a fairway driver, looks like. She has a bad kick to the right. First is going to be Kat on her upshot. She catches another tree. Deann just trying to get back into the middle there. Rebecca actually had a good lie there, so she's going to try to make her way all the way up to the basket, and she sure does. She's going to be inside the circle putting for birdie. Deann with her third shot also hits another tree, so she's still trying to. This is a long look for par. Kat Mertsch just pitched up too. Another missed putt for Deann, so she's gonna have to settle for a bogey, and this is for eagle, and man, she missed that eagle. Good work for that birdie though. I think that birdie putt was even longer than the eagle putt. Another good birdie for Rebecca. And par save from Kat Mertsch. And double bogey for Deann. Man. And hole 18. Par 4, 485 feet. This hole is, again, another hole that's kind of divided into two. The first half is just tunnel with trees on both sides. although no ceiling. And then after that tunnel, you're just wide open all the way up to the basket, which means, you know, very, very windy.
Ladies, we kind of survived it today.
Yeah, we do.
Like,
Good job, ladies.
Texas springtime.
Thanks for filming. Yeah.
And after we see some fist bumps, we go on to T of 18. Rebecca with a good shot down the middle of the fairway. We have Taylor. Long distance, but she's going to be leaking off into the trees in the left all the way up there. That's what you really want. That was a really great drive from Cat Mertsch.
Nice. Got some lift out there. Kick back.
Deann's going to be kicked back into the middle. That's going to be honestly pretty good because now she has a great look for her birdie after that upshot. Rebecca also trying to go for that birdie. Good shot. Now Taylor is going to have some work to do here. And I think she just leaves it a little bit short. You can see that she wished she had put a little bit more on that. Cat with the easiest approach and also putting it the closest to the basket. So again, very good look for birdie for Cat. Taylor flying over the basket on her birdie attempt. And that was her par. A good birdie from Deann to finish off after that double bogey on the 17. And Rebecca missing her birdie and missing her par. She will settle for a bogey. A bogey for Taylor as well. And Kat finishing off her first round with a birdie, putting her at even par. Rebecca +3. Taylor and Deann tied at +6. Yeah, that was a really good round. And thank you guys for joining us. And don't forget to watch the second and final round on our channel. And we'll see you guys then. Thank you very much for listening. And don't forget to subscribe. Thank you guys.